Hi, this is a video review of the Samsung B7722 from PhoneArena. The phone is dual SIM, dual standby mode phone. Dual standby meaning that you can actually use both SIM cards simultaneously, and you can change between different networks or between two SIM cards from the same carrier with the touch of a button. Actually, this button here on the side in the middle. The right hand side also houses the camera button and the lock and lock button on the top over there. Samsung has given a fairly generous 3.2-inch touchscreen to the device. Most of the dual SIM phones don't have a touchscreen or have a smaller touchscreens. It's of the resistive type, wide QVGA resolution, 240 by 400 pixels. The phone is a bit thick and chubby, but that's why it lies comfortably in the hand. Has a 5 megapixel camera on the back with LED light and a front-facing camera. The Samsung B7722 runs the company's own Touchwiz Interface, which can be found both on their feature phones like this one and on their smartphones. So let's look how the Touchwiz Interface looks like on the Samsung B7722. Here is how the Touchwiz Interface looks like on the Samsung B7722. The usual selection of home screens, three in this case, where you can place numerous widgets. The widget selection is actually pretty useful, especially the social networking stuff. You can place Facebook, MySpace or Twitter widget on the home screens and receive your updates or post comments from there. There's a dock here on the bottom with the shortcuts to your most used applications, which unfortunately cannot be changed. The main menu is again executed in pages, which you can scroll left and right for a very good selection of apps, which is good since it's a feature phone. You don't have access to applications market the way you have on Android or iOS. Pretty useful stuff. Regardless if you mean productivity, you have converter, calculator, world clock, timers, memo tasks, calendar, and that's about it as far as organizers go. Here's how the calendar looks like. Pretty easy to add something and pretty basic as well. You see the choice of font and color combination is not very thoughtful. It actually looks like something from a beta version. You can set details for the event, assign a special sound to it for the alarm. Using the middle key brings you back one step. The physical key, the big physical key in the middle, the way on most Android handsets. Let's see how the messaging application looks like. Combines text messages with emails. Email is actually pretty good because it can download up to 5 megabytes of attachments and up to 1,000 messages back in full HTML view. But again, the interface of the application is pretty basic. After all, it's a feature phone. It doesn't have a mobile operating system. The default keyboard is the numpad actually in portrait orientation. It's fairly easy to type on the resistive touchscreen, and the accelerometer is pretty responsive. It turns quickly the keyboard into landscape mode, so you can begin typing on the 4.0 keyboard fairly quickly after turning the phone. That's how the on-screen QWERTY looks like, and it's pretty basic, but it's very easy to use. The camera interface is also the same one that comes with most feature phones or smartphones from Samsung lately. A lot of options. Unfortunately, from here is the only way to access something resembling a gallery. From this quick view button in the lower right corner. That's how the gallery looks like, and only from here or from the file browser you can play videos. The video player is pretty basic actually. Not much settings on it. It plays MPEG 4 files in QVGA resolution. Most of the games you find on the Samsung B7722 are unfortunately trial versions, even the Tetris knockoff here. We have an FM radio which allows you to record the current song. We have an application for recognizing the currently played songs similar to Shazam, the popular Shazam. Let's have a look at the browser on the Samsung B7722. It's actually one of the biggest drawbacks on the device, since it renders the page pretty slow, even over Wi-Fi. Granted, our homepage is heavy with a lot of pictures on it, but we don't have this problem on other phones. And the other not very helpful feature is that you have to wait until all of the page has loaded in order to double tap to zoom. Every last byte of the page has to be loaded for double tap to zoom to work. If you have a large page with a lot of pictures on it, it actually returns an error. Page is too large or there are not enough resources. And overall the browser experience is not great. You see? Okay, changed into landscape. That's how it looks like. Scrolling is not really smooth as well. Okay, the page is too large for the phone to even zoom into for the phone memory. So you're not gonna be browsing with much pleasure on the Samsung B7722, but it's good for basic tasks, of course. The music player is also with a basic interface. It doesn't have a search function, but songs are categorized by recently played, most played, artists, albums, even genres, so you can fairly easy find what you're looking for. Here's how the interface looks like, pretty basic, but it does the job and it can continue playing in the background while we're doing something else, and that's basically all we want from a music player. Finally, let's have a look at the SIM card management software, since that's the main added value of the Samsung B7722, the ability to use both SIM cards simultaneously. You can turn each card on or off. You can tell the phone which will be the default network to boot into. And a very useful feature is to tell the phone when to change between SIM cards, what time during the day and for how long, which can be pretty useful if you have another card with an abundance of night and weekend minutes, for example. All in all, if you're in the market for a dual SIM phone where both cards can be used simultaneously, PhoneArena can recommend you the Samsung B7722. It has a nice set of features, it has a fairly big touchscreen, great battery life actually, 12 hours plus of talk time. So if you need to combine phone cards from different carriers or from one in the same network but different SIM cards on the same phone, Samsung B7722 might be your device.